Hello, my name is Tremayne Johnson. I'm Director of Percussion here at Renaissance. Welcome to Masterclass Monday. Let's talk drums. Let's talk percussion. The first thing that I would like to talk about is what is the job of a percussionist? What is the job of the guy sitting on the drum set? What is the job of the center snare? What is the job of a drummer, of a percussionist as a whole? You know what that one thing is? It's to keep the time. That is a percussionist's only job, whether you're sitting on a drum set or you're playing a marching snare or tenors or bass or anything percussion related. You got one job, and that is to keep time. Without time, everything else is just a bunch of notes in random places. But when you take and you put those notes to a specific time, whether it's 4/4, 3/4, 7/8, and you put it at per measure, that's when everything begins to mesh together and you can begin to really understand how the music is structured and how it's put together. Let's talk about how to find the time. As long as you can find the one in any piece of music, you will always be on time. Now, what happens with the other beats is you have to be consistent in finding where those other beats fall within that time. As long as you can locate where the one is, then you will always be on time. Being able to maintain that time is what allows you to be able to stay on beat, okay? But as long as you can find that one, you know every time that measure turns over that you're gonna come back to that one and you're gonna stay on that one and make sure you can locate that. And that being said, understanding how the music is structured, listening to the music, looking at the music, making sure that you understand how your part fits within the music. A lot of times as I get a chance to teach young musicians, they look on the TV and they see these guys going around beating all over the drum set and doing a bunch of linear patterns and things like that, and they want to imitate that without understanding that in order to be able to even get to that level, you have to understand the basics. You have to be able to do the basics. That means being able to play a simple rhythm on time, every time, consistently. Those are the guys that get the jobs, that get the gigs at the end of the day. It's not the guys that can jump around all over the drum set or jump around all over the marching snare and all of that, however the case may be. It's the guys that can be consistent and keep the time. That is the job of a percussionist. So for all of you young percussionists out there that are starting in middle school and so on and so forth, you need to take the time to make sure you get a really, really good foundation as far as learning your rudiments, learning the correct way and how to play, and we'll discuss that in the next part. Getting all of your basics down and making sure that you understand how those basics work in moving forward. All right, the next thing that we're going to talk about is going to be our hand placement and stroke. Over time, we develop bad habits as being old musicians. We develop bad habits. But as a young musician, you actually pay more attention to the small details, trying to make sure that you do them correctly. So what I want to do is I want to demonstrate how a proper stroke, and I'm on my pad here, what a proper stroke should look like, where your hand placement should be on the sticks, and what is going to be the best route to go. Let's start with the right hand, okay? What you want to do is you want to be able to take that stick and hold it right in between that first joint, okay? Right in between that first joint. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. Right in between that first joint. And then you want to take the other fingers and you want to wrap them around the stick. Okay, you want to wrap them around the stick. You see that there? You want to wrap them around the stick. The next thing that you want to do is you want to relax your hands to where you can close this fulcrum. Okay, and there's a reason for that. We want to close that fulcrum. The next thing we want to look at is our placement of where we're going to be playing relative to where our elbow is going to be. You can look at my hand placement, you'll see that I found a comfortable position. You want to make sure that your hand is in the right place Make sure you have a little bit of stick hanging out about there, and you want to make sure that you have everything nice, smooth and flush for a nice clean stroke, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to play a full out. Notice the elbow movement. Notice the elbow movement, okay? It is all wrist, but once you get to what we call a full out, you have to move your elbow. It's the natural motion of what you do. Once again, let's take a minute and look at the mechanics of how this is broken down. Now, right now, I'm keeping my hand on the stick so you can see how the wrist plays the most part in the stroke. Okay, I'm playing center drum, I'm playing center pad, and I want you to look at the stroke. Okay, right now I'm playing a little bit hard. Okay, I'm playing a little bit hard. I like to see a percussionist play through the drum as we're working on trying to keep that stroke consistent. Okay, we're working on trying to keep that stroke consistent. Look at the elbow. Okay, as we speed that up, you can see how we stay consistent. Okay, as a young percussionist, you want to make sure that you work on the development of your stroke, okay, and working on it correctly, okay? Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is we're going to move to the left hand, and we're going to be working on a traditional grip. In the left hand, what you want to do is you want to open your hand. You want to take your fingers, you want to take your middle finger, okay, and you want to tuck that finger right up under that thumb. Once you do that, you want to check your position and where you're going to be playing, okay? Once you do that, then you take your middle finger and you tuck it right into that first joint, right where the thumb is, okay? And what you want to do is with that left hand, is you want to control that stroke, okay? The left hand is a little more difficult because sometimes we want to do this. We want to release that middle finger, okay? In releasing that middle finger, you lose the control in order to be able to control that stick the way that you want to control that stick, okay? So in all of this, and even in the left and the right hand, your wrist is what is going to make everything move. Your wrist. Everything is going to be dependent on your wrist, okay? So since we've looked at the left hand and some of the mechanics, we're gonna play it straight up and down, okay? One exercise that you will see every drumline play is eights, is because everything that you will do for the rest of that day, for the rest of that rehearsal session, however the case may be, will be contained in eights, okay? So we're gonna play just a simple line of eights, that's it. We're gonna play 8 on this hand, we're gonna play 8 on this hand, okay? Let's start together, ready? 5, 6, ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Next thing that we're going to talk about is going to be the same concept. You need to make sure that you're relaxed when you're playing. Any kind of tension in the situation is going to cause you to play tense. It's going to cause your diddle integrity to be compromised. You really don't want to do that, because when you're playing with even another person versus playing with 5 or 6 other people, all of you have to be able to maintain and match stick height, all of those types of things. So you want to make sure that you're relaxed in the situation. Let's go through and work on looking at how can we relax and some technique stuff. Okay, we're going to look at the double stroke roll. The double stroke roll is 2 rights and 2 lefts. What you don't want to do is you don't want to grip the stick so hard is that you end up doing this. Okay, that's not what you want. You want to be able to relax and open those doubles up. Even when it calls for what we call it here at Bethel, I call them power rolls, where you've really got to stick your hands in there and get those rolls out at a low stick height. There's still a lot more control that goes in doing a double stroke roll at a lower stick height, trying to get the same volume and texture that you're looking to get throughout the ensemble. So you have to make sure that everybody's matching and playing the same stick height. keeping the integrity of each beat and making sure all of them are clean, precise. It's a lot easier to clean when you've got 5 or 6 people that are playing the exact same technique. That does take time and it takes repetition. Like anything that you do with percussion, that's what it's going to be. All right, the last thing that I would like to talk about is I'd like to go back and grab an old school technique. I want to demonstrate what we call the basic backsticking. It's a very simple technique, very simple rhythm. Okay, it's right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Okay, that's one piece of it. Right, left, left, back, left, left, right. It's going to fall in the same pattern as a double stroke roll. Okay? You want to get that right hand under. You want to relax while you're doing it. You don't want it to be, okay, you don't want to do that. You want to keep it nice and relaxed so you keep the integrity of each note. Now that we've demonstrated just that one side of the backsticking, let's take the other side of the backsticking where we bring in the left hand. So you got right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. So that is the entire backsticking of what we're trying to do along with the stickings. You can take that and let's start out slow and then we're going to speed it up. Again. Okay, you want to make sure when you get that left hand over that you still got enough, okay, you still got enough to get right back to where you need to be, okay? So that's something that you just want to work on is getting that left hand over and keeping everything centered, okay? So if you take that and you speed it up, it looks like this. Okay? You want to keep it nice and smooth, nice and fluid. So if you're going through and you're playing a pattern and you want to just open it up. Okay? You can also take and double up on the left hand if you want to, just to give it a little bit of flavor. If you'll listen to the rhythm of every time that you play a backsticking, there's going to be a rhythm in the middle of that. Now I'm accenting those, but normally you wouldn't accent those. You want to keep those nice and flat. Okay? So the next thing you want to do is when you go to double up the left hand, listen for the rhythm. Okay? You can also double up the right hand too. Let's play one where we're doubling up the left hand. Okay, and you can double up that left hand any way that you want to. You can also double up the right. The biggest thing that you're going to encounter in doing the backsticking is keeping the integrity of the diddles throughout the backsticking, keeping those nice and clean, keeping those heights where your director wants them to be, depending on how the music is written and so on and so forth. Thank you so much for joining in. This is Masterclass Monday with Tremayne Johnson, Bethel University, Renaissance Percussion. Thank you so much.